Good. Trying to click some buttons here, but I think we're making it. Okay, can everybody kind of see my PowerPoint? We're getting ready.
Yes.
We're going to be talking today. We're going to be talking about how to experience a spa retreat with the WAVwatch. So I'm going to have some fun. So just one more punch of the button here.
Yeah, you might mute everybody.
Yes, please go ahead and mute. We are ready to kind of get started. I'm going to click record here in just a minute. We're already live on Facebook. Let's start that first. All right, are we back again? We're on the first slide. It says experience a spa retreat with the WAVwatch. If anybody hasn't seen that, please let me know. I need to make sure that I'm ready to go with you at the same time. So you can tell today I'm pretty casual because it's raining in Kansas City. It's unbelievable. It's our second day. It's going to rain all day today, as far as I know. And so I just decided to have a spa retreat, which I've done this with the WAVwatch before a little bit differently, but I wanted to share with you how I was kind of doing it and maybe some fun little ideas. So you might be at home on a day like this, or you might not. You know, another day, another time when I did a spa retreat, as I would call it with the WAVwatch, I've kind of coined it, I was actually driving for 8 hours. So I'll kind of show you what I did and some things that you might like to try, especially on a day like today. Why not? You know, why not do something? So of course, I have a few ideas to go through as we get started. Don't forget, we have this private Facebook group. It's called WAVwatch Frequency Fanatics, and you do have to join the group to see it. And you can also check out lots more ideas at WAVwatch.com. And we just have all kinds of things that we're trying to get on and get loaded up. So hopefully you have enough information to work with the WAVwatch. I have a disclaimer, like everybody, you know, we have low risk acoustical frequency products on the WAVwatch. And there's 850 different ones, and they just help you to maintain or encourage good health or reduce the impact of some chronic diseases and conditions. Now, remember, we do have to label the wording in the booklet, and we are not making any claims or statements of any kind. These names are just used. They're the common words that we use to talk about our self-care problems. It's not a medical diagnosis. So that's pretty important. And of course, I can't make a claim. I can't make any claims, but some of our testimonies are just wonderful. And I'm not creating them. People are volunteering them, and they're not being paid for them. And, you know, it's really a fun thing to see some of the amazing testimonies. But again, we're not making claims. Now, one last thing, and I could cover this at the very end or the very beginning, but this is the screen that people have trouble with the most, or, you know, are, you know, still a little bit fuzzy on. And I don't know if there's anybody on today that doesn't even have a WAVwatch yet, so they may not know what we're talking about. But basically, when you get to this screen, you've already selected a problem that you want to work on. And so at the top, it will have the label for the particular self-care idea right in the middle. And then I think you can see my cursor right here. So we're talking about this anxiety right here. That's what you've selected to work on. Now, this particular one is going to run for this one says 9 minutes. And this area over here already tells you how many minutes that the WAVwatch has been working for this particular one. I forgot to mention up here that this number talks about the total frequencies in a folder. And that's kind of important. And we're going to be working on that just a little bit later. We're going to have lots of frequencies that we might want to go over. So that's the number of frequencies in a folder. And you can go back with this arrow. The battery is right here. That tells you how much battery life is left. This one is probably the most important corner of the watch. This lets you set different options on the play screen. So if this particular icon is touched and it's up here, then it's going to repeat all 30 files in this folder, one after the other. That's all that's saying. It just goes from one to the other to the next one, and then it shuts off. Now, if you click this area right here and tap it, once in a while, you might have to tap it 4 or 5 times because the AB is changing and shifting gears also. And it's just, you know, kind of moving behind the scenes. There's nothing that you have to set on that, but you're going to set it on the 1 with a square around it. And when you touch that and that icon comes up, that icon means that it will run 1 time on whatever's up here, and it will run the amount of time that it's labeled, and then it will shut off. So this one would run for 9 minutes and shut off. And so if I have a problem with somebody, you know, being confused, it's, oh, my watch shuts off all the time. And that's what's happened. They've got it set on this particular icon. So somebody might have just come on and they need to mute. If everybody would please try to mute, we'll see if we can get that done also. See if I can. So mute yourself as you come in, and then we're going to unmute later as we go along. So another idea that I did want to cover is the last icon at the bottom right here. And this one is the one with 2 arrows looping around it. And so if you have touched the icon and there are 2 arrows looping around a 1, and this icon is up here, then what you've done is set it so whatever is on this screen will play all day long, all night long, you know, 6 to 8 hours until the battery runs out. So that's what is going on there. And some people can change them lots of different ways. You can make some decisions about that. Now, this doesn't show it very well at all, but right here in this area, kind of where the wristband is, above this wristband is the TF card. And the TF card is the brains. It controls everything. We know about TF cards in our, you know, our cell phones. We know about TF cards in other things. And that's where the TF card is located here in a little slot. And once in a while, they'll come loose like any TF card. And it does give you a message to just touch it and press it back in. Now, this one is the heart, and that is to make a favorites playlist. And I do have a video posted on that for making a favorites playlist. But if you want to put this in a playlist so you don't have to look for it later, all you would do is click this button right here and a little check will appear on it. And then you know you've saved it in playlist number 1. Then the menu bar is right here. If you touch the menu bar, it will give you a new selection of ideas. It's an easy way to go back home where there are 3 swipe screens. You'll just slide across to see those swipe screens. So just a little bit as we get started today. Some of you have been using it for a long time and you're old pros at this. So just wanted to run over it in case anybody had any questions, and we'll see if that helps. So today you can tell I'm already in my spa outfit. I really got relaxed today. It's what, 60 degrees here. It's going to rain all day long. I am doing a spa. So I'm going to share with you what I've been doing. And I'm actually kind of excited. You can see I'm in my, it's not a new robe, but I'm in my robe. I didn't put slippers on, but I am going to be relaxing all day today with some of the ideas I'm going to be sharing with you. So I think this actually works perfect. And gosh, I wish I would have thought to do this program, you know, a whole year ago, because we're spending so much time at home. Isn't that right? You know, we don't get to get out very much. And we might want to go to a spa, but some of us might be a little bit concerned about going to a spa. Some people would just, be thrilled to do it. But where I have gone to a spa is on a cruise ship. So I can't do that anymore, that kind of thing. So we need to think outside of the box. And guess what? We've already got it. We've got the WAVwatch. So I hope you'll enjoy with me some ideas. So put on some music, maybe even some vibrational music, and we're going to be using more vibrations. But anyway, these music obviously is going to leave you feeling more rejuvenated, relaxed, and give us a chance to really unwind. So I had to look to see how much a spa package does cost. So one website was saying from $150 for a couple of hours, or maybe $450 for a few hours of treatment. But if you go all day long, it might be $750. So, woo, I'm ready to get the same thing out of the WAVwatch. Again, today's my day. It's a perfect day. So these are some things that we're going to be talking about that I think might be fun to do. You might have some different ideas, and we'll just let everybody unmute at the end and add some more ideas if we need to do that. It's all so neat to be able to share ideas with people. So I really appreciate it. So guys, I really appreciate that you're on here, and I am definitely trying to include you in, because why couldn't you have a couple spa day? Why, gals, why couldn't you do that? We can all get involved. Everybody needs to relax, especially in our climate today, So these are some suggestions I'm going to be talking about. The first one, EMF and radiation detox. And these are just some suggestions. So that's why I'm saying it could be a whole spa day. It could be, worth quite a bit of time and possibly money if you want to compute it that way. So those two frequency sets take about 16 minutes to run. We're also going to be working with emotions, and you might spend a couple of hours on emotions. We also have joint support and nerves, kind of like getting that actual massage from somebody, because a lot of you do know that when you run those joint support ideas or nerves, that it's like getting a massage. Something changes or moves or shifts, Also, we're going to be working on weight loss for about 3 hours. That's what the length of time that one is. So you could be doing a few other things and relaxing or other ideas, but that's the length of time that the weight loss program would take to run. You might choose not to do that, and you might want to do some other self-image ideas. Tummy tuck just by itself would be a great one. Hair loss might be one. There might be something else that you see a little bit more self-image related. This would be the time to put that in. Also, we're going to be talking about hormones for guys and gals. So maybe allow about an hour to run that hormone frequency set. And then detox is a total of 3 hours of a possibility. So you could be working with some spa-like ideas all day long, just like if you were on that cruise ship and you got the whole treatment. First thing we want to start with is a digital detox. And I already kind of mentioned that. So you got to put your cell phone aside for the day if you can. I don't know how many of you can do that. It's kind of hard, isn't it? So, maybe start trying to do the digital detox, which, is the EMF and the radiation detox. There's 2 different frequency sets for that. And actually try to do that every day if you can, because we've talked about this time and time again, how we definitely are getting so much overload with all of the man-made frequencies that power our world and all the towers all over. So that's a great one to do. And again, I get to maybe brag just a little bit and say, I did not create anything that is connected to the Wi-Fi. So the WAVwatch is available without Wi-Fi. And so many technologies that are using frequencies today, I'm kind of sad that they're using Wi-Fi. It's kind of like contraindicated or not what it should be. They're not thinking it all through. So see if you could put your cell phone aside, turn it off, get it out of the room, try not to pay any attention to it, and give yourself a break on that. So start with a digital detox if you're into maybe joining me for a spa day. Now, this is what happens. I may have shown this picture before, I'm not really for sure, but you've got your cell phone up to your face, you're talking on it. We can definitely see heat generated in just 15 minutes. So think what this is doing to your brain. That's why we want to detox from that. That's why I think you ought to detox every day with those two ideas that take about 16 minutes. And if you can't do it, just do it when you can. But also, we've talked about trying to keep that cell phone away from your face and using, different ideas rather than having it just right up here all the time. Make sure that you are digitally detoxing and getting yourself relaxed. Now, the next thing I suggest after you have that taken care of is to work on your emotions. So, when you actually do go for a massage with a professional or massage therapist, they're going to be doing a lot of work with head massage and, here and here and here. So we can actually do that with the WAVwatch. So 10% of the WAVwatch frequencies are emotions. And I think that says it right there, how important our emotions are. I mean, there's even a code for emotional ties to diseases. That should say it all right there. So often, it's our emotions that can make that connection and start a disease to go down the wrong path. So after we've got the digital detox taken care of, we want to work on some frequencies for emotions. Now, seriously, the Bach remedies are some of my favorites. There's 38 of them. And so you can select those. I actually didn't print them for you on this particular screen, but you just select the first one, and you're going to be using the double arrows that I mentioned earlier and pointed out to you. And you touch that button, you set it on the first Bach remedy, and 38 ideas will play. You don't have to mess with it anymore. And so then you can go about your day just a little bit. Again, you're still time to relax. You're in your house coat. You don't have your hair done. You are just trying to relax for the day. So this is a great time to have some tea. And I just want to give a shout out to my daughter-in-law. I don't think she's on here, but she makes the most wonderful rose petal tea, so maybe this is a time to really have fun and have a new kind of tea that you wouldn't have at another time, So you're just going to be very slow and relaxed and let those Bach remedies play. Now, you could choose some different ones. There are also Bach emotional combos, and it says 7. And that is just telling you and me that there are 7 different Bach remedies combined inside of those. So it's a little bit of the same thing, maybe a little bit shorter. If you don't have as much time, you could play those also. Now, don't forget, the Bach remedies or emotional remedies don't make a lot of sound. And that's because they're just one frequency. So the frequency, I'm just, off the top of my head, there might be a frequency that's 528. And that frequency doesn't make near as much of a sound as a frequency set where I might have 30 different frequencies combined for you. So these are very hard to see. So again, that's why when I created the WAVwatch, I put the speaker so that it's underneath here and that your body's going to feel those emotions. It's going to feel those frequencies for those specific emotions. It may not hear them. Don't forget, the frequencies are going through your wrist and your skin and your bones, especially your bones. Frequencies just zip through your bones. So don't be afraid that the watch isn't working when you play those. Okay, does somebody have a question? I do hear a little bit of noise. We can mute again as we come on. We're all okay. That's just kind of fun to get muted a little bit. Let me see if I can find the correct screen for that. I'm still looking for that screen. Okay. There we go. punch the button to mute again. I think we're all taken care of. All right, so what I really wanted to share next was some ideas to show you how the emotions can help. The last picture showed somebody massaging a forehead and releasing tension. But this is the WAVwatch, massaging a forehead and releasing tension. So I have what's called a thermography camera, and it shows heat patterns. So, oh, I think I've got this, when I pasted this on here, this is a little bit wrong. I don't know if I can move it, but this is the first one. I took this one of a lady who showed me, or who told me that she had PTSD. And it's just such a great story. I even have a video of it on my website. But she's a great, and I'm sure she's a great grandmother. I really got that phrased right there, didn't I? She's a great grandmother, and she is worried about those great grandchildren all the time. So she has such tension pressures from it, but she was calling it PTSD. So we played the PTSD, and this one is actually the first one that we took, and you could see all of this inflammation through here, and you know, very hard. It's not like it's supposed to be at all. So then the next 30 minutes, we played the PTSD, tension, headache, stress. And the next slide is this second one. And I apologize that I didn't realize they were out of order. Huh, fun. Wow. Boy, did I jump. Okay, so the second one shows her in 30 minutes, and you can see that that stress has changed a little bit more. And then the third slide would be the one on the left, and that's after an hour, and that shows a pretty normal looking picture as people could go, and can be seen on the thermogram. So you could see that the biggest change was in that first 30 minutes. So when you just have a few minutes to work with something, it can still make a huge change. Now, this is the one that was jumping. I do apologize. And this one is in the right order. And so again, we're seeing her side view. And literally, she was very inflamed. And again, that's the same idea as the massage therapist, working on the sides of your head and your top, and, you know, however they do with your head. You have it on the WAVwatch. So the second image shows 30 minutes after she was running inflammation, pain, and trauma. And that's one of my favorite frequencies. So that's why it's a great thing to work through possibly more than one idea. And that's what we were able to do in that 30-minute to an hour time frame. And then the third image shows, again, after an hour, the final choice. So that was an hour of change. And by that time, her headache was gone, her tension was gone. She felt less, you know, pain in her shoulders. And again, I do have that full testimony on the website. But I think these are just great to let you know the WAVwatch is a little bit like a massage. Now, let's change gears one more time. They're going to be doing some more massaging. So if you had somebody massaging you, what would you have done? What are your areas of pain? I think this is fairly easy to think about, but we may not think of it in ideas as, oh, the WAVwatch could, quote unquote, maybe help me massage a little bit and relax today. So I would suggest that in the next segment of time that you have during your day, that you pick out some specific areas of pain that you might be having. So maybe you pick out back pain, you know, and run that for 30 minutes. There's 3 of the back pain ideas right there in a row. And so basically that could be an hour and a half. You could also pick out just joint support, neuropathy, joint disease, plus, you know, elbow. You know, those could be some ideas. So spend a little bit of time, quote unquote, thinking about a massage. So run those frequencies for that particular time period. Or if you're not really thinking that you have any of those problems, we have muscles. So maybe you need muscle pain, muscle cramps, calf muscles, stiff shoulder. All of those relate to muscles. So maybe you could pick 3 or 4 out of those and play those. Again, that's what your massage therapist is working on when you go to a spa of any kind or you get a massage. They're going to be working with particular areas. So you can do exactly the same thing on the WAVwatch. You can pick a particular area. Now, just a little bit different, but also the nerve segments that we have. Some people may say, well, I don't know whether it's really my muscles or my nerves. So you could combine a couple of them. You might have the, ulnar nerve compression, peripheral nerve. You might play neuropathy and choose to take your time that way, because also that's what a therapist is going to be working on, is massaging some of those areas and see if she can get circulation to change. And of course, that's a really soft frequency or soft way that I'm saying that. They do lots and lots of things, and they're definitely worth every dime that you spend on them. But again, my whole theme here today is we're not going to get to go to as many massage therapists or, cruises or fun, spa days as we maybe did in the past. So we've got to take the most opportunity that we can. I've also spent some time with a friend and a gal friend, and we were out in the sun. So at this stage, you could actually go out in the sun. Maybe it's really going to quit raining on us today. And we were out in loungers with the WAVwatches, and we were playing through some of these ideas. It was just a spontaneous thing, but we both had WAVwatches, and we chose to play some of those while we were sitting there, laying in the sun, listening to music. And of course, we had a little bit of something fun and relaxing to drink. So many things that you could do. We just need to put it in our mind that, wow, I can have a spa experience on my own, and I can have the WAVwatch to help me with that. So I hope all of you have kind of seen some of these ideas. You might, grab an idea or two and think, yeah, I could do that. And maybe you even need to think, well, I don't think I'm going to stay home. I'm not going to stay home in my robe and straight hair like Linda is, but maybe you're driving for quite a distance. So that's a different idea. Like I mentioned, I did that one time when I had an 8-hour drive. So you can just program some of those ideas as you go along, and you'll have those whole 8 hours to create your own relaxing situation. Now, you got to take a break sometime. So make sure that you're drinking lots of water. And then my other big takeaway that we've always talked about probably every time is to make sure you're taking plenty of minerals. Now, who wants to have 80 bottles of minerals? I mean, they tell us there's 80, sometimes you'll see 85 minerals, there's a few different lists, but there's lots of minerals that we can't get in a bottle, and you're going to have some overload. You're going to have the wrong combination. You're going to have the wrong proportion. And that's not really good. You may be trying to work with minerals, but you've got to have them in the right balance. And do not forget that my favorite place to get minerals easily is just to start considering your unrefined sea salt as your minerals. You don't have to take a bottle. You just have to take those unrefined sea salts. So we have a Himalayan salt, and usually that's the one in the picture. Usually that is good for women who are still menstruating. That pink in there is iron, and that's why they need that. So they always muscle test for that one. Another one would be a real salt from Redmond. That's the one that it seems like older women need. I can't believe I just called myself older woman. So anyway, that's the another type of mineral that we all need. And then another one is a Celtic sea salt, and it's gray and gray, basically different shades. And it seems like men need that a little bit more. So there's some little mineral combination in there that each of us will react to when we have the right salt. So different ways to take it. You have to figure out your own way, but it can be life-changing. I just put mine in a little bit of water and take it. Drink some salt water. Other people can't stand it and they'll buy the salt pills. Usually the Himalayan salt is available in a salt tablet. I don't think I've seen that yet with the Redmond sea salt, but they may have changed that. And I think I have seen the Celtic sea salt in a pill form also, because if you have not caught up on this particular doctor, and his name is Dr. Robert Thompson, has written 2 books, and these 2 books changed my practice. And I didn't know about them until about 5 or 6 years ago. So I don't even know when he put them out. I guess I don't have the exact date in mind, but it's so wonderful. He really gives you a complete list of minerals. And of course, I've had minerals for years. I've been in, different groups and actually multi-levels that sold minerals, that kind of thing. But his book was the education that I needed. And basically, one of the quotes that I like the most is he's saying that they studied cultures for 200 years before we started refrigeration. And every culture in the whole world, everybody in the whole world, everybody took between 1 and 3 teaspoons of salt. Now that kind of just makes us think just a little bit, what? We're not supposed to take any salt. And our medical doctors are correct on that. I would agree with them. We shouldn't take white salt. I hate to pick on a company, but Morton Salt has taken our salt, the unrefined sea salt, and taken all those minerals out of it. And then with what we see on the shelf, Morton Salt, the pure white salt, has been aluminum has been added back into it to make it shake better, to make it flow better. And then the iodine has been added into it, which they think we need, which we do, but it's not the right kind. It's almost like a synthetic type iodine. It's not natural. So basically, if you look at Morton Sea Salt, that company is a chemical company. So we're just taking a chemical. We've taken chemical salt almost our whole lives. So we've got to switch back and take one of these natural salts that our body is craving for. And I should have put this on a slide for you, but without the correct minerals in the correct proportions that God provided for us with these natural salts, when we haven't messed with them, when they come out of the sea or the source, just like they were made, they are so great for our body. Our body's minerals have to be in place before the vitamins will work, before the enzymes work, before the amino acids work. It just goes on and on and on. All the minerals have to be in place before our body works correctly. So it's going to react differently if it has a mineral shortage of some kind. So can you see? That's why I have a spiel about salt, my favorite book. All right, I highly recommend those. Now, once we've taken our break, we need to do some weight loss ideas. Or we could do. I shouldn't say we need to do. Some of you do not need to do. I need to do some weight loss ideas. And so the one that I pick on the most, just for my own personal experience, is a tummy tuck. So I might want to just pull that one out of there and play that for a couple hours. But I also, at some point in time, want to make sure that I set the WAVwatch to go through all 22 of those ideas. Because again, that's kind of like the mineral idea I gave you. We're just trying to balance out everything. Now, the tummy tuck isn't messing with hormones necessarily or, balancing, but the rest of these are. They're trying to make sure that we're balanced quite a bit. So, of course, we have to have our adrenals balanced. We have to have our pancreas balanced, our thyroid balanced, our pineal gland balanced. And those are really important for weight loss. And I think so many of the times we try to take products that, kind of put us in a zone for working on one idea. And again, balance is a much better phrase. We don't want to eliminate too many things. We want to keep things in balance. And if you haven't caught up on my weight loss complete webinar, don't forget that the adenovirus, if I'm saying that correctly, because once in a while I hear it adenovirus. So this virus has been connected with about 30% of our weight gain. Or when people have, a huge weight gain problem, there is a virus connected with that. So that's why that's in that particular set. So you may think that might be one that you might want to isolate and play for a little bit longer. And again, you would simply change the frequency or change the icon at the bottom lower left corner of your screen to the one with the two squares looping around it. You're going to make it loop for a longer period of time if you want to make sure that that's something that isn't bothering your system. So if you have 3 hours during the day, again, you're just kind of relaxing for the day, kind of having a spa effect. You're going to do something for weight loss. Now, let's think about this a little bit. What do they do for weight loss at a spa? This might be the time that you'd be on a walker, you'd be doing a few things a little bit like that. So sure, you could add that into your routine if you want it, but it's not a have to, because the WAVwatch already has you working on some weight loss ideas. But you've got 3 hours of time that will be playing through. So you can schedule something fun. You can be, taking a little walk, whatever you'd like to do. So this isn't all encompassing as much as a day spa would be. We're going the whole day and having somebody massage you all day long, getting spoiled. You're going to have to spoil yourself in between times. So you've got a little bit of time when the weight loss goes through and you can figure out some fun things to do. Now, don't forget, if you were listening to each one of these frequency sets, or if you have extremely good hearing, you're going to hear different sounds. I don't need to drive it home, but some people say, oh, I think my watch is broken. It's just such a sound. And for some reason, they'd gotten it turned up, it was very loud. And the sound was just really noxious, Well, some of them are, and like myself, when I was creating them, I'm going, that is terrible sounding. But that is the kind of sound that was made for that particular frequency. And then you can see just an image representation of all of the different sounds that they might make. So some of them are really soft, and some of them are really clanky. There's a couple that actually play a beat. And I was really surprised on that, as I'm a former drummer, and they'll play a beat. So that was very interesting to hear that beat as it would repeat. So I've got a couple testimonies on the weight loss. Somebody mentioned that they had lost 2.2 pounds in 3 days, and she's not eating anything. And she says, no, it's just not water because my clothes are looser. Thank you. I have not even exercised, not even taken a walk yet. And then she updated it in another 10 days, and says, I have lost another 8 pounds. So, wow. Again, all she did was press the top one on the weight loss and let it go through all of them. Another one on the right-hand side, since buying your watch, I have lost 16 plus pounds running the weight loss program 1 time a day for a month. I'm no longer taking prescription meds, long-term asthma meds, or anxiety meds. No more pain meds, over-the-counter or other. My sciatic is under control, and so many other things that has helped with the WAVwatch. I cannot say enough. And she did back up what I'm just saying, and all of you are backing this up. There is no internet or Bluetooth connection, which makes this the most valuable tool in my arsenal of natural remedies. And she does tell me that she bought one for each of her 6 children. So how can I not give Joanna a shout out? So anyway, thank you for that testimony. And we did start, obviously, she's lost 16 pounds. Now, I think I'm talking really fast. I've been excited. I haven't lost 16 pounds. It doesn't seem to work on me. I can't say it's going to work on everybody. So I still am searching. I've got something out of balance. I'm not doing that yet. So some of you, that's what you need right away. And some of us, it may not be. But we have the time. We're going to play that as we can. And I do play the WAVwatch weight loss a little bit, but maybe not every day, for a whole month. So that kind of an idea. But anyway, try it the best you can. See what kind of testimony you might be able to share with me. Now, if you're not interested in doing the weight loss, don't need to, this is a time when you can do something else. So I did mention the tummy tuck, that you could run that for a 3-hour time period, because I kind of, scheduled the day a little bit as you can go through some different things. But another lady gave me this testimony, and I thought, that's a self-image thing. That's what we're doing when we're having a spa day. we're treating ourselves. We're really working on some things that we think that we need to improve on. That's what that's all about. And we're helping ourselves. So one lady did the hair loss, and she has an amazing testimony. I don't know that I need to read it all. I can leave it on the screen. Basically, she's saying that her hair fell out after she had a terrible appointment in her 20s for, I think it was for a permanent. And her hair hasn't really grown back in for 50 years. It's been a mess. And so she started running the hair loss frequencies, and she didn't notice it. Everybody around her noticed it. And she said, when the grocery store bagger is telling you and looking at your hair and saying, wow, things have changed. So then she started just, wow, my hair is really growing in. And somebody else alerted her to that. So I thought that was really fun after 50 years. Now, guys, I don't know. I don't have a testimony. I just have this lady's testimony on hair growing back in. So if anybody's had some, a testimony on that, that would be lovely, because I do not know. This was just one testimony. So the next idea I'd like to work with is hormones. We've been sitting around quite a bit of the day. We can move around. We could be out in the sun. We could be taking a walk. We're not getting too strenuous. I'm not going to be doing any walking today because the weather is terrible. I do have a walker inside, but I'm working on many ideas that I could do. This might also be a time when I'm running the weight loss or that time period to make a few recipes for self-care. And I love recipes, and I didn't think quick enough that I should have shared some of my recipes with you for bath bombs and, bath salts and things like that. But this is a great time maybe to keep thinking about that whole spa idea. Maybe do your own fingernails, maybe soak your feet in water, do some really relaxing things, have something else, some more water, make sure that you're relaxing and pampering yourself. So I'm sure you can think of some things that might be helpful during this time period. The next idea that I think we should move on to on a spa day is hormones. We're not, I don't know that a spa particularly works on that, but that's what we need to be working on. And there are so many problems with our hormones that this is something almost like the EMFs. I don't know if you know the connection. There is a study that was done right here in Kansas City, and they say that our EMFs are changing our testosterone and our estrogen. Isn't that sad? So women, especially when we wear bras that have underwires in them, I don't know if you can see, but when we have underwire bras, they actually say, and of course, this is a theory that some people don't think is right. I think it's right because I've had experience with it. But when women wear those underwear bras, they're attracting those EMF frequencies right underneath their breasts. And then their breasts can be suffering. Same way with guys. I don't know what all you could have in your pocket, but if you're wearing something metallic in your pocket a lot, like your keys, and other things, and hopefully you're not putting your cell phone in your pocket, but those EMFs that we turned off at the very first part of our day, if we're thinking spa day, turn off your EMFs. But if we're wearing metal around, be prepared for our bodies to be attracting estrogen or attracting the EMFs, which then mess up our estrogen and testosterone production. So turn those EMF things off that you can, get away from them, and then run the hormones. So we've got separate ones for men and women. They could be mixed. You might have a few different things, but basically we need to be running these, guys and gals. We need to make sure that our hormones are balanced. And again, our medical community has had the wrong idea. I think Dr. Mercola is one of the best that I've seen about admitting that something that he did years ago was really wrong. And I'm just paraphrasing this from something I read years ago. But basically, he said that women were given estrogen creams, they would slather it all over their bodies or whatever they were told. And they'd be taking this cream for 2 to 3 years. And their bodies got so overloaded with estrogen that progesterone couldn't even compete. So then what did they do? They took the estrogen away. And of course, it was made out of pregnant mare's urine. I don't know if you know that. That's what Premarin stands for, pregnant mare's urine. Premarin, pregnant mare's urine. I like to repeat it every 3 seconds, I guess. But they took that away, or decided to, kind of phase that out a little bit. And then they gave us a progesterone cream. It did the same thing. Then it put the progesterone so high and estrogen was so low. So normalize balance is a great word. We have to balance things. We just can't do one and not do the other. Everything needs to be in balance. So that would be an idea that would be very, very helpful, is to spend some time on your hormones on a spa day. So I hope you're flowing with me on that one, that makes perfect sense. It is so important to make sure we are not wearing underwear bras. Make sure you're not putting your cell phone in your bra. And ladies, I may have told you this before. I'm not for sure if I've said it on a program or not, but I actually had an older lady that was a little bit crippled. And so she leaned quite a bit to the side. And when she had her Lifeline alert on, it just hung right here. Within a year of starting her Lifeline alert, she had developed breast cancer right under this spot. So I hope you can see what I was trying to share with you. So those EMFs are messing up our hormones. So anytime we're thinking about spa, relaxing ourselves, helping ourselves, you are going to hopefully turn off your Wi-Fi connections, make sure nothing is touching you, and make sure you don't have any underwires. Wow, I'm having quite a spiel here today. This is a imaging that I took, and this lady was saying she was taking even bioidentical hormones, and you could see the difference in that. So wearing the WAVwatch for hormones, and I think we did hormone balance. I think that was the one that we did. And as it went through a 30-minute cycle, it did several different ideas. So we can see it's not perfect, but, and I think the pictures have gotten reversed in this one too. So there's quite a bit less red. So the bottom one is how she started out, and the top one is what she looked like later. So within 30 minutes. So we know that the WAVwatch can help with our hormones. I can't call it, I guess I shouldn't say we definitively know, but we do have some experience and some testimonies that people's hormones are changing when they wear the WAVwatch. So I hope you have the time for that. Now we're kind of finishing up for the day, and hopefully you've had some time to do some of these ideas. You may not be able to do it all, but just wanted to kick some ideas out there for you, because to me, this is worth a lot of money. I paid for this before on a cruise, had a lot of these things done, and I might not get to do it very often anymore. So the last idea of the day is to start running the detox frequencies. So you might try to do that. There might be a break in some of your frequency sets. You're not running something all day long necessarily, but maybe time your detox folder. It's going to take about 3 hours to run, or maybe 2.5 hours to run. And try to do that maybe 5 to 8, something like that in that time frame. Because after that, I'm suggesting that you do a detox bath, which is very, very important too. That would be the final thing of the day to do. Now, if you've got a biomat, you could lay on that. If you've got any kind of other mat, that's a detox type mat. If you've got a, what am I trying to say? I missed the word here. If you've got anything else that would detox, then this is the time to do it also. But you'd be running the detox frequencies, and then anything else that you might want to do with that. You might have a detox foot bath. You might have a walk-in detox spa. So those would be some ideas that could go along with this. But a lot of us don't have those, or we might be in a hotel room that doesn't have that availability. But be very careful that you are trying to make sure that your minerals and your water are where you want them to be. Very important. So the last stage is to run the detox settings. And then make your own amazing detox baths, share with others, or maybe you find some to buy. I had the most wonderful picture. I spent some time with my grandkids one time making a bath salts that they could share, and they have hand printed labels in second grade writing, on what they put in for the ingredients. And they made these for their relatives for Christmas. And I could not find that picture. So I ended up with these 3 pictures, which look just fine. But so fun to be able to share sometimes some personal little things that even second and third graders can make detox bath salts to share with others. So you can be creative with that. And that was one of my ideas on something you could do. Or other recipes, maybe it's time to make some hand lotion. Maybe it's time to make some different things that you know how to do. We're talking about a spa day. So make some of those things if you can. I hope you keep a supply of things on hand. I have run out of things to say. I'm actually done. So I think we're ready to open this up and let everybody share any ideas that they might have. So anybody have any comments, anything else that they would like to share?
Linda, this is Dee. My gosh, this one was amazing. I didn't know what to expect for today.
I was talking one night.
Yeah, I know. And then I was thinking when you came on, I'm going, oh my gosh, she hadn't done her hair. She has a robe on, but hence didn't know why, but now I do. But no, this, I took a picture of that first set of things that you're recommending to do today. So I'm already, just now started the weight loss. So
Hey.
Hopefully that will help. So thank you. As always, thank you.
You're welcome. I know I was really talking fast. It was fun. And especially when you're sitting here in your house coat, you're trying to.
No, it was a lot of great information as always. Thank you.
I'd like to say something.
Sure.
May I speak?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm a single guy. I talk to lots of women here in the villages. Many men can't get it up, and many women are not interested. So women, do your man a favor, get him a WAVwatch and run it on yourself. And it may be a hard discussion to have, but there's nothing worse than bad sex or no sex. So this is the WAVwatch offers the potential for some men, in my belief, as a Viagra, but it heals the actual flow and circulation. I know it's a hard subject to bring up with us men because we don't listen very well, but I'm just suggesting it's a great.
So I didn't have enough, I guess I didn't even really think about it, but that, you're exactly right. There's a whole section on ED.
Men, ED, please.
And this would be
put it on his cover the damn thing there so it doesn't work. He's not working on his parts that he's very sensitive about. Let it run.
There you go. Perfect. And this would be a perfect day to do it,
Indeed.
So if you got your guy with you and you're working together on having a spa day, or you're on travel or a trip or something.
And the women need to wear their hormones and whatever it takes to get their passion up, whatever that takes. So it's not all us men. Women, you got to get in there too.
And that hormones does have both of those, but there might be a few more that you could put in with that, if you wanted to add.
I've run sometimes when I douse, I douse for female hormones because I can know which frequencies work. But yep. I am quite confident that it'll be beneficial for a large percentage of the men and women.
Thank you. You have such a great way to say things. I'm going to laugh one more time. I have had a gentleman here that bought the WAVwatch for his wife with Parkinson's. And as he was looking through the booklet, he just really hollered out and he goes, "You mean you've got ED on here?" Since we're on that subject. And then he just, I mean, he hollered. He was so excited. And he said, "Well, I'm going to try this." And there is something in Kansas City called West Coast Men's Clinic, I think. And he said they had something for frequencies for ED, and you went in once a week for 6 months, and it cost $6,000. And so, of course, his reply was, "Why wouldn't I buy myself a WAVwatch and do it? Check it out." So you're just kind of saying it's helpful for lots of men and women.
And
Goes both
women,
ways.
because
both ways,
bottom
yeah.
line is lots of women I talk to, they're dead, done with men, doesn't work anymore, not interested, too hurt, whatever. So women, you got to own up, but we as men are even more difficult. So
Perfect.
give the husband a gift.
There you go. So give a gift and have a fun day together. And today is the kind of day that I'm thinking of. But you know, if it's sunny out too, you can take your party and your spa outside in the sun also. All right. Other comments? Did you have anything else?
No, I'm shutting up
Okay.
now. I'm not going to get hung.
Oh, it was great. Thanks.
All right.
Any other comments? You can unmute yourself and make a comment if you'd like.
I'd like to make one more comment. On Amazon, there is a product called Oceans Alive. It's a marine phytoplankton grown inside a vat free of EMF radiation and smog and
Oh, okay.
trails. And it provides a concentrated natural fermentation process that creates all the minerals, vitamins, and supplements in direct proportion to the body's needs. Very powerful, very useful, helpful for men and women. As part of your salt protocol, I'd recommend that anyone add a drop or two of that to the salt in the water, and it'll provide the nutrients in the appropriate amount that the body can use without throwing it out of balance. Oceans Alive. I have no financial interest in any of this.
Oceans of Life.
Oceans Alive, marine.
Oh, alive. Oh, Oceans Alive.
Marine phytoplankton. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm out of here.
Oh, thank you for your comments. I think we're kind of wrapping up. Any other comments?
I
Don't
have
mean to take up too much of your time.
I have a question.
Sure.
So is that guy, his name's not under there, so I don't know what to call him, the guy who was just talking.
Virgil.
Virgil. So is he a health coach?
No, Virgil, you can.
No, I'm a retired Wall Street guy.
Oh, because you're always giving good health tips and all this products and all these different things. And so I thought, oh, he must have background in this.
Oh, I do. I made enough money to go everywhere to find out what doesn't work.
Oh,
Okay.
well, I would like to pick your brain.
Interesting. So we love his comments, you know.
Yeah.
But he always, every week he adds something, and I wish I would have written them all down, like the one you just said, and I didn't write it down. So
what a compliment, Virgil.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Can you please can you submit a list with all the information you've ever referred to for the rest of us?
No, just come in every week. I'll get there when I remember, and I'm grateful to share what I've learned, but I've been doing this for 50 years. So
Okay.
I don't know what you need, but
Well, maybe
let me tell you, when I saw the WAVwatch, I said, God damn. I used to study scalar wave technology, and I ran big instruments, huge, that were used to control weather around the United States with a company that's no longer, the weather modification was controlled by these instruments. So I learned scalar wave technology manipulation with these particular science people. And when I saw this much packed into a little watch that would have cost $30,000 20 years ago, I said, gotta have it. This is a very powerful tool that most people have no clue as to how to use it and to use it effectively. It's a great
Yeah.
tool.
Well, sometime maybe you'll just go open your kitchen cabinets or bathroom cabinets and give her a tour of your products that you use.
It's not about products, really. It's really about knowledge and knowing what to use and when to use it. And the great thing about the WAVwatch is that it doesn't have a destructive effect on the body if it misses the mark. Except for, as Linda is saying, minerals, magnesium, trace minerals, chlorophyll. We need to have those building blocks in order to make these devices work. And,
Okay.
and Linda is very modest. I don't have any business, don't need the money, so I can say what I think. You got to do the minerals, you got to do the chlorophyll, you got to do the basic nutrients for this watch to be very, very, very effective.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good tip right there.
And I
Because
keep saying that, you know. I keep
Yes.
trying to-
Trace minerals, especially magnesium. Now, magnesium, effectively, I'm finding everywhere, every woman that I look at, every man, I'm a single guy, so what can I tell you? I don't invade anyone's psychic space, but when I look in the field and I can see magnesium deficiency, copper deficiency, but getting that up is not just by putting stuff in the body. It's about getting the body ready to receive it. Duh, the detox pathways, the baths, the body rubs, all that stuff. It's really about getting rid of more stuff than putting more stuff in because we're already highly toxic.
Okay. Well, the thing that Linda does, the other reading thing that you do,
The biomeridian.
would that show what minerals we're lacking in too?
Yes, it does point out some, not all 80, you know, we could spend
But it
quite a
would-
bit of time. Right. It does
Okay.
show that.
Then I'm going to set an appointment and come see you and do that. I'd like to see that.
When you get back, are you
I'm
in
back.
Kansas City?
I'm in
Oh.
Kansas City, so I've got to come see you now. I'm local again.
Perfect. All right.
Hey, I'm from Kansas City too. That's why I like Linda. She's a sister from another mister.
Well, it's good to be back in Kansas City and be closer to her. I've got to, I can't wait to come see her, see you, whoever I'm talking to.
All right.
Okay.
Any other comments? Anybody have any other ideas on how to create a fun spa day? Do something different? Make any sense, or did I cover enough bases? You know, that's all I could think of. Any other comments? Okay. I don't need to waste anybody's time. You got to go use your spa day time. You got to go use the WAVwatch and do something with it. So anyway, thank you so much for joining and keep passing the word around. Next week, it looks like I've done 21 programs and it may assign a new number. I did not realize that. So I'm going to have to work on my Zoom calls and set up a few more. It may assign a brand new number. So hopefully we'll all be able to reconvene and that won't be too much confusion. Or maybe I'll be able to find out how to make it the very same number for you to click in and join this again. Thanks. Have a good weekend, everybody. A good week and a good weekend.
Thank you. Same to you.
Bye-bye.